no money, that's an asshole. It wasn't a phase.
Hello guys, welcome back to another episode of the Senior Citizen Podcast, and we are here with FUÁKATA.
FUÁKATA, tú sabes.
Well, Sofia and Fo from FUÁKATA.
So we are half of FUÁKATA.
Half of FUÁKATA, and I think you guys are still looking for a guitar player too.
Currently, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it'll soon be 2/5 of FUÁKATA.
Hopefully soon. Sooner than later.
I want to start off with the burning question of, how does it feel to have won that battle of the bands?
Exhilarating.
It's pretty nuts. Like, there was, first off, our first time performing in one of these competitions. We've tried really hard in other ones. Like, oh, everybody tag us. Oh. We never get to, make it to that next step. So when we got to it, it was already really exciting. We were kind of nervous because our guitar player had, the previous one had quit right before, like maybe 3 weeks prior. Mm-hmm. And we're like, what are we going to do? First thing comes into mind, we're going to call Kenny from Costa Rica. Hey, man, can you pull up if we, pull up, T-shirt money and pay for your flight? He's like, for sure, we got this, but if I'm coming out there, we're winning. We're like, all right, well, let's hope. And it was just nuts. It's been, I don't know. Part of us thought, maybe we can win. We're pretty dope, Yeah. We have fun on stage. It's exciting. But also part of us was a little nervous that we weren't going to.
I mean,
right.
I was just happy to be there because, since we had formed the band, it was always kind of, one of our, milestone goals just to play at Revolution Live where they hosted it. And, bringing Kenny back, Kenny was our original guitarist who he had moved to Costa Rica, and that's why we had to get somebody else who left. So bringing him back and playing with, the original 5 members of the band at, such a big venue where we knew there was going to be a lot of people there, even if we didn't win, I was going to be happy.
And knowing that context and knowing that you guys did win, that's so cute. Yeah, I mean, it's a full circle moment that you get all the original members back and maybe Kenny rigged it and was like, we're winning. No, I'm kidding. It was well deserved. He wasn't going
to fly back to lose, that's for sure.
Exactly. It's we're going to do another one until we win and then I can leave, right? No, you guys totally well deserved. You put on a great show. Even so I stayed for a couple bands in the pit area, and then after that I was like, it's hot, I'm tired. And I just kind of went out into the patio, but I would go in and out to go to the washroom and whatnot. So I did hear some of you guys' set. You guys are lit, you guys are so much fun. I love Ska Punk. If I wasn't exhausted 24/7, I would have been down there. How did this band get started? I love the name because it's right in your face.
Well, that's kind of how the music is too. That I think that was the defining factor of how it how we zeroed in on it. It was just the music hits you all at once. It's you got your ska core and you got some little hardcore influences, ska punk, skate punk. It was a lot of stuff, but the band started because of actually Kenny. So I play the trumpet with La Barra or La Hinchada de Inter Miami. Mm-hmm. So he wanted trumpet lessons to join the band. This was 2 years ago. So I said, yeah, come on over. I'll give you a lesson. I'm like, how'd you hear about me aside from this? Because he's like, I've seen you in the scene. I'm like, from which band? Because I played with 20 bands at that time.
Oh, wow.
So he's like, oh, with the big Scandal. So I'm like, oh, cool. You like ska punk? He's like, yeah, I wanted to start a project, but it never happened. I'm like, what was it? You needed a horn player? I'm your horn player. And he's like, let's get through the lesson, but yeah, it would be cool, but that project's shelved. I'm like, all right, don't worry about it. I'm the trumpet player. And then I invited him to a show, and he pulled up with Julius, the bass player, to come watch us, and he was playing drums.
Yeah, so we were in another band together at the time, and she had invited them to come watch us. And in between one of the sets, while we were just meeting up at the bar to have a drink, she was talking with them, and they were like, oh, we really want to do the Ska Punk project. Julius here is going to play bass, so you'd be the horn player. We're looking for a drummer. And she, summons me from across the bar to tell me that I'm now a part of a Ska Punk band because we're a package deal. And so that was the 4 of us. And we started meeting up at Julius's place, or his family's place, where they had a little setup with a drum set and all the amps. We started playing some music. Kenny had written some songs, and he was originally going to be singing and playing guitar at the same time. But then after a while, he was like, I feel like I can't really let my hair down with the guitar if I have to focus on singing too. So they decided they wanted to bring in a singer, which is when they brought their mutual friend Tyler over to the rehearsal space, and he just had the energy that really matched what we were all trying to go for at the time. And from there, just, writing all the music was a very organic process. We would just kind of jam on something, find something that we really liked playing, and then just write a song around that one idea.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, the first EP, I think we wrote within like 2 or 3 rehearsals.
Oh, wow.
They had the skeletons to 2 songs, and we, no horns on it, so I went in, filled in the horns, just MIDI drums, so he just changed up all the drums.
Yeah.
But then within that, we just started jamming and wrote like 4 songs like butter. Like, they just came out. And that became the first EP. And Tyler came in on the first rehearsal, like I think a month in, and he was like, oh, I kind of have these lyrics that might fit with this. And it was just fit really well,
Just
really
got
fast.
right
It
in.
was
Yeah.
like the band just was momentum, like going full speed from the beginning.
Right. It was FUÁKATA from the beginning.
Well, no, originally we were going to be Pendeja.
Oh.
Julius and I wanted to call the band Pendeja, but, and we were still trying to figure out what the name was going to be, but Sofia was like, I can't tell my parents that I'm in a band called Pendeja. So we were like kind of,
That's something I would say. Knowing damn well we are full-grown adults, I cannot walk into my household and be like, I'm in something called Bendeja.
Yeah, I'm like, how do I tell my mom? Like, I can't walk in with a T-shirt with that on it. My mom's gonna be like, ¿Y cómo? ¿Qué es eso?
So we went to a
I
show.
want a T-shirt that says Bendeja.
I mean, honestly, like I might want to make one just for the meme out
With
of
a
it.
bang though, still.
Yeah.
It's just Pendeja. We went to a show one day while we were still trying to spitball names out, and we were up in like West Palm Beach at Respectables watching some bands that we liked, and in between some of the
actually,
bands.
we'll plug them real quick. But they're
Yeah.
actually from Miami too, from Hialeah. Stop the Presses. So they used to be pretty active in the scene down here. They're in New York now. But
Oh, okay.
Stop the Presses.
Yeah.
We love you guys.
So we were watching. We went to go watch them, and I think it was like either before or after their set. We were out in the back area, just kind of like spitballing and talking names. And then she was the one who was like, "Oh, what about FUÁKATA?" And like all of us were kind of like, "Yeah, that could work." And honestly, it really is like the perfect name, not just to match like all the music that we play, but it really just the name itself. If you go see like a list of random names of bands, it's like that one's gonna stick out to you. I think.
Right. It does, because it has the little exclamation point like in Spanish in the beginning. So that already, like, when I go to type it, it's like, oh, fuck. I don't remember the shortcut for this.
Don't forget the accent over the first day too.
We get pretty
It's
annoying
important.
about it when we see flyers. We're like, hey, can you try to at least do 2 exclamation marks?
Yeah.
Try.
And the accent. Because without the accent, it just doesn't hit the same.
It's not the same, you know?
Yeah.
It's that little flair. Sazón.
You guys said that the first EP came out very organically. The ska that I'm used to seeing, new age ska, is basically just Jer. Because other than that, I'm stuck on Streetlight Manifesto.
We share you a playlist.
Yay!
Of all the latest releases.
I would appreciate that. I would appreciate that.
There's also a lot of good, at least I don't know about like currently because I'm not following too much actively in other countries, but at least other countries have had a lot of great ska bands and ska reggae bands come out from the past. Like we used to play with this Brazilian band that was like ska reggae from Brazil.
Oh, wow.
And there were a lot of really, really good bands. I actually got to see one of them play live a few years ago at a music festival in Fort Lauderdale that I was stage managing. So I would definitely recommend bands like, especially from Brazil. Brazilian ska is like really nice. They have bands like Skank. Funny enough, great name.
Skink.
And then another really good one called Once 20, but it's like Once with a Z and then a 20.
Okay.
I would highly recommend them. They're very good.
I'm not
Good
going to retain
musicians.
any of that until I actually watch this.
Yeah, no.
Please.
That's what I figured. That's why I'm throwing those plugs out
Yeah.
now.
It's wow, Brazilian ska, like, never even, it did not register. Like, it was not in my 2023 bingo card.
There you go.
I mean, they're like older bands, but they also have they also have their bands that are out there playing now. But it's also, at least from what I've stumbled upon, like also kind of like small scale, similar to some of the stuff that you would see locally around here.
Yeah. I don't know why, but just in my mind, it was something that was just very Americanized. And that's maybe why I liked FUÁKATA so much, because to see, like, Latin roots in that, obviously the sound is very, I'm probably just, like, I'm in the dark. I need some light shed on me. How did you guys individually start playing instruments? What do you play? How did you get into music?
Here to go
All right, I'll
first.
start. I was like, in a way, kind of always around music. A lot of times my dad would bring me over to the Marlins games, and they used to have these big tents where they would have like Latin bands come up and play, and he'd bring me over, and they'd let me like tap on the congas a little bit, whatever. So it was like always kind of there. But then I was like, Dad, I want to play guitar, like every other 10, 11-year-old kid, and he took me to a guitar center, and I picked up a guitar, and he was like, which one you want? And I'm like, messing around with all of them. Obviously, I don't know how to play, but I'm like, none of these really speak to me. And then we passed by the drum section, and I'm like, okay, I didn't know that, go figure, Guitar Center sells drums. So I sit down for a bit, I'm playing around with the drums, and like instantly I was like, okay, this is what I should be doing. I don't care about guitar anymore. This is what I wanted to play. So then I got to middle school, and I wound up somehow playing tuba for a couple of years.
Fun.
But, I saved up money, I bought a drum set, kind of like started taking drums on my own side. I took lessons, eventually did drumline in high school, and from there it's just something that stuck with me, up until now. And I really think I'm probably going to, be buried with a pair of sticks in my hand, probably.
It's a good way to go.
Yeah.
Did you play a lot in the local scene? As
not
a teen-ish?
No, I mean, like, not until after I really stopped doing all the marching band stuff. Because once I got into, like, my sophomore year of high school and I joined the drum line at my high school, I was very enveloped in, like, the marching band scene. Like, I'd still play drum set at my local church, and I'd get my fill playing drum set there, but it's not like I was out playing in, like, bars or clubs or anything like that.
Right.
And the Talent Farm was right there.
Yeah, which is crazy because Talent Farm was, like, across the street from the high school that we went to. And I went to a couple of shows and, like, I watched, but I just never really had the urge to, like, go find a band or start a band and just start playing out in the open.
Yeah.
Until like halfway through college.
I'm sad about the Talent Farm again.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to open old wounds.
Yeah, right? It's like every time people say it, it's like it just take another stitch out. It's a deep wound. What about you, Sophia?
For me, I started playing, so I'm the trumpet player in FUÁKATA, and that's my thing. I'm like the trumpet player in a lot of bands.
I think it's even in your Instagram handle. You're the trumpet player.
Yeah. Yep, that's me. So I started actually in middle school in 7th grade because I started middle school in 6th grade, and I saw that all the kids that had little cases got to get out of class early. So I was like, it sucks. They're hitting everybody in their knees with the cases, but they get to leave class. So I wanted to skip class. I wanted a reason to leave. So I said, okay, how do I do this? Where do I sign up? Joined up band class, and selecting an instrument was interesting because I wasn't drawn to the flute or clarinets. For some reason, like, the woodwind instruments weren't for me. And I didn't care too much for percussion, but the brass instruments drew my attention because of the Latin influence I have. And, listening to music growing up, there's always horn sections, whether it was, like, funk or Latin music, always horn sections present. So I said, all right, saxophone, trumpet, or trombone. And when I look a little longer, I'd see, okay, saxophone's got, like, 100 buttons, 100 keys on that. Okay, that might be a little complicated. I look at the trombone, no buttons, no keys, just a slide. I said, okay, so one looks too easy to be true, too good to be true. The other one looks way too complicated. So that happy medium was the trumpet, 3 buttons.
Right.
So it was cool. But much like Fo, I didn't really do anything during high school. I actually went to school next to Talent Farm too. So he went to West Broward, and which is like, let's say, in front of Talent Farm's warehouse. I was next door at Somerset.
Okay.
But no, I never got to go. I never went. I just did marching band. So
you missed the whole era.
I hate it because as soon as I finished like high school, I joined a local band like freshman year of college, and everybody's like, "Oh man, the Talent Farm! Oh man, all these shows, they were so great!" And I was like, "Wow." I literally had it right there.
Like in our backyard, basically.
Yeah, so I started basically band kid, middle school, high school. I did drum corps. I studied music. We actually both went to FIU for music. Got our masters.
Finally, some FIU representation.
Right, let's go Panthers.
I've had like the last 2 people have been UM kids.
Oh man!
Like, does FIU have a music school, guys?
They do.
We're right here. FIU School of Music. But yeah, so it's funny. Everybody in the band though does have like different influences. Mm-hmm. For me, it was I majored in classical trumpet and Baroque trumpet, so like way different. And he did.
Yeah, I studied jazz in college.
So it's
right.
I grew up playing like church music or gospel music. I loved Tool, so at home I was just learning as many Tool songs as I could. So I liked metal. Then I get to college and it's jazz, and at first I hated it. It was a very uncomfortable transition coming from like metal and gospel and rock and stuff like that. And then once I learned to love it and appreciate it, even though it's not as, I guess, like commonplace or making as much of a comeback as some of the other genres of music that are out there, I always make an effort to see if I can like sneak some jazz or something that I learned in college when I'm playing.
Yeah.
Some good stuff. It's funny how like such a tiny decision, like what you made when you looked at those buttons, and it's like, and it's everywhere for you. Like I'm sure there's more to your life, but it's basically your life. Like that's your main hobby.
It feels like the Soul movie from Disney.
It feels. Have you watched Barbie yet?
No. Oh my goodness. Missing out.
We're
Missing out.
missing out.
So I mean, but you've heard the song, the "I'm Just Ken."
Okay, I actually did get to hear that one not that long ago.
Right. So and basically for Ken, it's just kind of like, who am I without Barbie? So it's like, who's Sophia without the trumpet?
Oh man, I'm triggered right now.
I'm sorry.
Soul searching after this. Wow.
Decent artist,
There goes
too.
my night. Thank you.
I'm sorry. You guys mentioned Talent Farm. I do this. I'm so sorry. I just deflect. That's all I do.
Eye for an eye.
Right. No. Like I said, I'm sure there's a lot more to your life.
It's a big part of it.
Right. No, for it to be in your Instagram handle, that's like, I live on social media all the time. So for me, it's like, if it's in my handle, I'm serious about it. But that's awesome. I love seeing, I mean, you get such a variety of different backgrounds in the scene. There's so many people that are self-taught. There are people who have had classical training. That kind of choice in middle school did not have the same effect as me. For me, I was in my high school orchestra, and I played the viola.
Ew.
But, like, not really. Like, I had the tape on it. I had to, not really know how to read the notes. I had to, like, write the letter over it. No, it was terrible. So it doesn't have the same effect on everybody, and it's really cool that it did to you.
Yeah, it's been a fun choice.
So what's next for FUÁKATA?
Ooh, finding a guitar player?
Learning how to drive. No, I'm
Learning
kidding.
how to drive? No.
No, yeah, finding a guitar player is definitely first on the hit list. I mean, I'm also trying to think aside from that. Like, I know I have a couple of like projects that that I want to put together where we just like record some stuff or like record a video or something to put out there. So at least while we're looking for somebody, we're not like dormant or like not really feeding our followers on social media. So
Right.
at least personally, I'm trying to think of some projects that I want to try to put out.
I think we've been pretty good about setting goals for ourselves as a band and achieving those goals. Like this year, currently, it was to go play at the Hurricane Fest in Sanford at West End, is it?
Yeah,
They
West
put
End
on
Trading
a cool
Co.
festival, so we got to do that. That was a big goal last year, and to hit Revolution.
Mm.
Those didn't happen last year, but they happened this year. So, and we got to tour the West Coast. That was also a goal. So now, I think next year some of those goals are we've been invited to kind of like go out of the country for something. Now I don't know what the budget looks like on that, but we also did just win, so maybe that's gonna help.
Forget budgets. Just
But-
do it.
Budget's not a thing anymore.
Right.
We kind of pocket some of the stuff we pay for ourselves as a group.
Yeah.
Merch sales help a lot. It helps us get our rental
Yeah.
vehicles
So, like,
and
for the-
stuff when we do it. But
Yeah, for the most part, with the exception of the flights that we pay for, like out of our own pockets well in advance, everything that we spend on the trip, like in terms of hotel, transportation, things like that, aside from food, we're either like breaking even or netting positive with all like the merch sales and everything.
Yeah.
That's
calculated at the
awesome.
end.
that and the help of our friends across the country
Yeah.
that house us, super dope. But I think for next year, back on that topic, the goal is probably to come back to the West Coast, maybe hit some more cities, I don't know, and maybe do something international and more music. Trying to put more music out, maybe do a full-length album. That's been in the talks. We haven't done that yet, so some cool stuff.
When you guys like sit down for the goals, is it like SMART goals, how they taught you in school, or is it kind of like a
No, it's
super
just us like pounding down beers and in drunk stupor saying it's like, oh, we should do this, we should do that, we should do yeah, it works, and we just kind of remember that conversation going
We
forward.
do band breakfast sometimes.
Yeah,
Band
yeah, we'll do
breakfast?
band breakfast.
That's so
occasionally.
cute. Is there like a usual spot for it, or
Airport Cafe?
Airport Cafe.
So we actually all used to live in Springs. And so like walking distance from Julia's, walking distance from Kenny. Like we take a car to Tyler and it was like a 3-minute drive.
Yeah, everybody lived within like 5 minutes of each other,
So it was
basically.
Airport
super
Cafe?
family.
Is that on
Cozy.
36?
Yeah.
I've driven past it.
It's good, very good food.
Really?
Highly recommend it.
Yeah.
I love breakfast
Chef
food.
Ruben. Good stuff. Burger of the month. Burger of the week.
Now I'm hungry again.
Well, I know you should go to after this is done.
It's open that long?
I think
Think till
so.
11, I
Till
mean-
maybe.
I don't live anywhere near that direction. I'm not going over there.
Post it.
You guys have any good brunch spots?
Eh.
Oh, anyways, band breakfast. I love it. I love it. And then if you're drunk and remembering these conversations, that's great. Because I don't know if you guys know Lost Claws. She likes to book out shows and stuff, but she's more like on the, I guess, metalcore side of things. She's awesome. We were hanging out, kind of, and then was like, you should let me MC that show that you're hosting. And then she never, got back to me, so I texted her a couple days later, and I was like, hey, I was serious about it. She's like, I thought I imagined that whole conversation. I knew it happened. I just didn't know if it was real or not.
Oh
and then
my
I didn't want to, message you and for you to be like, what the fuck?
I feel that.
Yeah.
Well, good thing you reached out to her then.
Yeah, we're friends. So it was just I was serious about this. And she's like, wait, what?
This is real.
Yeah, it's a real world. No, super cool. I'd be excited for a full-length album.
A lot of actually the stuff we recorded on the EP was from drunk rehearsal takes.
Yeah.
At least for me, I would get really messed up, but we used to record every single rehearsal, every final run through of the set of the songs we had worked on at the time. We would record them, and then he would clip them up and we'd put them in the chat. So then when we got to recording, I was like, bro, I don't even know what I play in this song. Every time I play it, I'm messed up. Every time. So what do I do?
Play whatever Drunk Sophia plays.
So
Drunk
then,
Sophia plays
I'd
great.
sit and pick 3 recording videos that I liked what I played, and then we'd be like, all right, let me listen to this again. All right, I like this verse. I like this chorus over here. This solo was kind of dope. All right, let me try to relearn it and then make it my own again. And
That is the most interesting recording process I've heard of yet.
it wasn't so the audio wasn't from the videos, but I would the licks, the things I'd do.
Yeah, you'd go back and revisit, but that's the most creative process I've heard of yet, and it's you have to sit there and channel Drunk Sophia. What did she
Literally.
actually do? And it needs to have the same feeling,
Yeah, it's because you got that the liquid courage, obviously, so when the confidence comes out, you stop thinking what is everybody else gonna think, and you just start playing. So and sometimes the best parts come out like that, I think, at least for me.
Yeah.
And yeah, drunk me gets really experimental. I'm like, oh, I remember playing this opera in college, and this would be kind of cool if I did it here. So you get that kind of stuff.
Or sometimes it's let me show off.
Yeah.
I could play this opera. That's so cool.
There was one point where we were recording the second EP where at the end of Nacho Day, or towards the end of your solo at the slowdown section, she was like, I don't know what to put here, and in my head I was like, okay, jazz brain, and I was like, just play as many notes as you can, doesn't matter what it sounds like, just make it super flashy, and whatever comes out comes out. Right. And I think the first or second take of whatever you did when we played that section was what wound up making it to the final to the final song we recorded.
Oh wow!
So if you hear it the very end of the trumpet solo at the end of that song of Nacho Day, it's out of nowhere, almost out of not out of character, but it just starts going off into a whole space trumpet, and that was just her, just all right, whatever comes out comes out.
She started shredding on that trumpet.
Yeah, and she shreds. She shreds.
That's trumpet shred.
Yes, I'll take it. It was Parmesan.
She's also the hype queen of the band too.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I'm like a mascot. I'm more like the mascot because I'm the smallest.
She's the only member in the band that has her own chant.
Oh wow! What's the chant?
Sophia.
Oh,
Sophia.
Basically, I chug whatever I have
Sophia.
on stage. If I don't, then Julius volunteers his drink for me, and I gotta pound that, and then we go on and
Oh
play.
jeez.
And then hopefully I don't puke.
Yeah, I mean that is the end
yet
goal.
on stage. So
Let's keep it that way.
Yeah, right. That would have been great for the Battle of Bands.
honestly, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's a live complete footage. I think that happens, and then I turn around and I'm just like. And then I gotta play, but
Disqualified for projectile vomiting on the band on the audience.
Hey, Bruvy jumped in the stage dove.
Those were great pictures. So
I got to watch that as it happened. I'm like, okay, these guys are bringing it.
I'm so mad I missed that. That was
they
so
were
dope.
good. I liked them.
I'm actually hooked on them right now.
Me too. Me too.
So cool.
Yeah, they're very cool. What was the other prizes for winning? I know it was a 5K, but
it was the second place. I think was a guitar plus also a day at
that was third,
Revolution. No,
Day at
it wasn't the guitar second place
Yeah,
plus a
guitar
day at
was second.
Revolution.
No,
And
but for
then-
you guys,
for
it was
us?
5K, and
It was
then what else?
5K. We get a day at Revolution to film a music video whenever that happens. And then we get to open for a bigger band when they come through. Yeah, just to kind of like play an opening set at Revolution, but we need a guitar player first.
Right.
So we're kind of
We're
taking the
gonna
rain
keep
check
pushing
on
that
that.
like low key on this.
So if there's any shredders out there who want to play at Revolution, there's your incentive.
Basically, that's what you need to put in the flyer. Like
Must be able to play
guitarist that
Revolution.
wants to play at Revolution and permanently join a band. Like in small print, like you have to sell your soul for this, you know?
This is your prize.
But I mean, like not that they have to sell their souls for it, but we do hope that like when we get somebody, they're committed to it because.
Oh, you have to be.
Yeah, I mean, we're out trying to do more like out of state runs. I mean, eventually we want to do something international. We'd like to go to another country and like bring our music there, because I mean it's like it's good music and lots of people should be able to hear it.
Right.
So I would want to share that with more people who are not from Florida, who are not from the United
Yeah,
States.
and it's just fun. For us, it's like a mini trip, a mini vacation.
Right.
Plus, go out and share. So
Yeah.
it's fun.
That's awesome. What's like the dream band for you guys to open for in that prize? Like,
Against all authority.
Oh, that would be cool.
I mean, yeah, we just missed them, but I'd say them.
I was trying to think. I'm like,
Wait, no.
Fishbone.
Fishbone would be
Fishbone would be
Fishbone would
epic.
be good.
also getting recommendations from these. Right.
I want to open for Tool, but that's just because I'm a Tool fanboy.
Right.
I don't know if we
But
would-
makes
I don't think
no
it'll
sense.
happen. But I'm just putting it under the ether. I'd like to open for Tool.
He picks the headliner. I mean, he picks the opening act. So if he likes you, he'll put you on.
I will DM him this episode of the
That would be
podcast
so
tonight.
dope.
I will
We have
DM him.
nothing to do with their music, but hey.
I mean, like essentially, like you're the appetizer for the main act. I think we'd be a good appetizer for
Yeah.
Tool.
Yeah, you get people pumped. It was so funny. When I turned 17, I feel like I've told the story before too. Went to go see Less Than Jake, but it was Streetlight opening,
Ooh.
That's a good show.
right? At Revolution.
Wow.
But by the time Less Than Jake came on, everybody was tired. Like, they were like, can I get everybody jumping? No. Absolutely not.
Maybe after I down this Red Bull.
Right.
I feel like if we can, that might be a goal. Like to try to hit that this
Yeah.
coming year if we can open for Less Than Jake.
Yeah, that'd be Less
Putting
Than
it out there.
Jake.
They're festing.
Even Streetlight. That
We
would
want
be
a
cool to
fest
open
too.
for.
That's a goal for next year.
That's a goal for
Yeah.
next year. I want a fest too.
Tyler will be there. He goes to the fest every year.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, so if you wind up going this year, say hi to him.
I will.
Tell him we hate him.
I'm going to say hi to every Tyler I see there.
Hey Tyler. Hey,
Yeah.
Hey Tyler.
Are you Tyler? Hi.
Right. But anyways, yeah, Tool, you heard it here first. They're
You
going to
heard-
open for you.
We're here for you.
This is my professional recommendation as a podcast host. I don't know how much weight that actually has, but I'm here for you guys. I'm rooting for you.
Thank you.
Let's do it for Fo.
Yeah.
Do it for
It'd
Fo.
be a
Just
dream of
it's
mine.
just for Fo. No. And he will bring pho soup. If you're into that, I don't know.
I mean, I can do it.
I mean, that's bare minimum. Bring just some food. Come
I mean, I
on.
can bring like some of those microwavable ones that they sell at Costco.
It's not the same.
No, it's
Oh.
good.
It's not
It's
the
good
same.
though. Don't be fooled. It's
Oh.
actually very good.
Yeah, it's probably got enough sodium for a week.
You just drink more water.
That's not the way I want to live my life. All right, you guys. It's usually a relationship post, but I found a subreddit that's called Cat Help. Are you guys pet owners?
Yes.
we actually do have 2 cats.
Okay, then that works. Look at how cute this cat is.
Oh, it's a young one.
That cat
It's a
could
young
cure
cat.
my depression if I had depression.
Kind of looks like my cat. For fact's sake.
Oh.
A little bit. That's mine. But yeah, so this person,
Colors, the beans.
so she's got one of her back paws. It's pink, and the other ones are black.
Oh, my cat's the same way. She has one pink bean and the rest are black.
Yeah. Mine's from the Humane Society. I didn't even look at her
okay.
beans. That was the first cat I met. I was like, oh, she seems chill, and she had a cold, and I was like, you tricked me because you're a nutcase. But anyways, so this person needs help. Glad that I found some cat owners. Why do I feel resentment towards my cat? This kitty, Scout, is the first pet I've ever had. I adopted her from a bad, possibly lethal situation at the age of 4 weeks, and at this point, she's 5 to 6 months old. I spent a lot of money on vet visits to test and vaccinate her, buy her the highest quality food, litter, treats, toys, all the
I think they did that. All the
whatever. When I first rescued her, she was a very upset kitten. She was the runt of a litter, apparently, and was also extremely hissy and bitey. She has obviously calmed down since then, but in the 4 or 5 months that I've had her, she consistently runs away or at least shies from my touch. I have not been able to voluntarily pet her the entire time. I've tried everything, being aloof, conditioning with treats, nothing seems to work. In the last month, I felt this terrible resentment building up in me. I spent all this money, all this time on you, and you can't give me the time of day. I know it's a terrible thought, but I keep thinking it. I don't know how to help Scout feel comfortable enough around me to let me pet her. If you guys have any advice on that, or how to simply ditch this feeling of resentment so I can move forward at least accepting my cat for her own self, it would greatly help me. Thank you for reading this post, and for any advice.
cat dad.
Yeah, I am cat dad. I probably wouldn't be able to give it like a fair comparison because like our cats we've had since they were born. We took in a street cat. The street cat got pregnant, had a litter. We kept those cats with us. So to them, we're mom and dad for them.
Aww.
But at least like based off what I know on cats in general and kind of how I kind of treat my cats because they're still cats in the end, whether we've been there for a week or 10 years.
Yeah.
But they're very like they only want what they want and when they want it. So if you're constantly trying to like love them and give them affection that they don't want, they're never going to be interested in wanting it because it's always going to be available. It's like the dating scene, I guess.
Yeah, you have to give them the chase.
Yeah, exactly. You have to give them the chase. If you're like always there, like there to pet them and there to do whatever for them whenever they don't ask for it, they're never going to come to you for it. But
right.
If, every once in a while you kind of like give them some space or like, make it seem like you're going to pet them, but then go away, whatever, then you can be like, hold on a minute. Like, am I not important to you anymore? Do you have, at least that's the way I would go about it.
You're telling this person to gaslight their cat?
I'm not telling them that. Oh, hold on. Don't gaslight your cat. Don't.
You wanted food? Think again, bitch.
Maybe I didn't mean to phrase it that.
I'm kidding.
Yes, gaslight your cat. But no, I mean, if you give them, I guess, like a little bit of space or don't always make yourself 100% available for them all the time in terms of, I mean, like, obviously, feed them, change the litter, like, take care of the cat. But don't be so forceful in, like, trying to give affection and attention that it's just always going to be there because then the cat's never going to want to go after it because it's always available. But then when it's like, oh, like, I want attention now and you're not here to give it for me, let me go rub up against your leg until you start petting me.
Yeah.
That's the way I would go about it.
Right. I think there's just cats with different personalities. Like,
yeah.
I know a friend that had a cat that, like, she just hides in the closet all day. No one ever sees her. When they leave the house, they see, like, in the cameras they have in the house that she comes out to eat. But, like, never comes out.
That's it.
Yeah.
Just eats and then goes back.
Yeah.
I mean, with
And
cats,
she
it's
can't
like
hear
a
people.
lottery. It's like a lottery with the personality, too. Like almost every dog out there is always going to be, like, very happy to see whoever the owner is or happy to see anybody.
Yeah.
But with cats, it's like, yeah, it's kind of a lottery.
My cat's friendly, but she doesn't like to be held. So when you want to go grab her and she knows you're grabbing her, she tries to hop into one of her safe spaces, which is like her bed or her carrier. But then we just, pick up the bed or carrier and it's game over. How's the guitarist search going?
I mean, it's going well. We've had some responses so far to like our public posts in search of one. So we have some people who we're gonna try them out. We'll invite them to rehearsals and kind of feel them out, and whoever is like the best fit, both, I mean, not just playing wise, but whoever's gonna vibe the most with the band, whoever's gonna be committed to like coming out to rehearsals and coming out to shows, and like if we're intending on booking a tour to like another state, they're the person that's like, yeah, count me in. Like we want someone who's down for it too.
Right.
Yeah, so we got like an okay size list right now, and like the first task is to learn a couple songs by ear. Sorry, we don't have tabs or anything, so don't ask. We've had a few people ask, and we're like, I don't know, Kenny just wrote the parts, and yeah, so we have a few.
But I mean,
few people that are learning songs.
We'll help out too. Like Julius, our bassist, he plays
really
guitars
helpful.
too. And when we've had to teach people like guitar parts, he'll like take a video of him like playing through the guitar parts kind of slow to send to them, so they have some sort of resource. Like you're not gonna necessarily go in blind.
Yeah.
Right.
So we do that, and then we'll invite them over once they gotta send in like a video, and then we'll invite them in person for a rehearsal.
Gotcha.
And then if it goes well, more rehearsals.
Well, this is going to be out in about 4 to 5 weeks. Not sure yet. Hopefully at that moment you guys will have a guitar player.
Fingers crossed.
If not, go check out FUÁKATA's page to see if they still need a guitar player. Feel free to plug in. It's your shameless plug moment to plug in anything else you need for people to know.
We talked about this before the way here.
Oh, we love our local scene. We
Yes.
love the scene very much. It sounds like I rehearsed this, but actually kind of did. We're like, who are we going to plug? We love the homies and Hijas de la Muerte. They're fantastic. Billy Doom is Dead is always dope, and they're helping us out. Thank you, Andy.
Our friends
for
over
Oh, I love Andy.
He subs
Oh,
for us
yeah.
sometimes now. Since we don't have a guitar player, he's covering for a
Yeah,
few shows.
we played it. We played a show.
Make sure
with
to bring him some
before.
chicken tenders.
Oh, that's good.
They're
to know.
dino tendies.
Dino tendies.
Dino
tendies?
tendies.
Like
Well,
from,
dino
like, the
nuggets, but
supermarket?
they're
Dino
tendies.
tendies.
Like the microwavable ones.
Why is everything microwavable to you?
That's
It's
him.
convenience.
Toaster ovens.
It's convenient.
Toaster. I'm in my 20s. I don't know about y'all, but
Air
Oh
fryer.
yeah, air fryer is like the
air
backup
fryer,
for me.
toaster oven, great. Anyways, guys, go stream FUÁKATA's music. They'll find a new guitarist soon enough. And we'll catch you guys next time on a Senior Citizen podcast.
Thank you. Woo!
Thank you for having us.